Hi guys, welcome to the 2X e-commerce podcast show. I'm Kunle, your host, and this podcast dedicated to rapid growth in online retail. So if you're looking to grow metrics such as traffic, conversions, and ultimately sales, you're tuned into the right show. So today we're going to go back to the basics about rapid growth, particularly via Facebook. And this is from a first-hand brand perspective. These guys they've grown, incredibly well, like 4 or 5x, in 12 months. And yeah, it's incredible, their growth. They're creating an entire sport, which has sort of segued from volleyball. And chances that if you are in the States, you would have heard about them. They're called Crossnet. Without further ado, let's welcome Chris to the show. Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, man? Thank you for having me on, man.
Fantastic. Where are you dialing in from?
I'm from Miami, Florida right now.
Fantastic. Okay, so could you introduce yourself? You Crossnet, and where you guys are.
Yeah, so I'm Chris Mead. I'm the co-founder of Crossnet. The chief revenue officer as well. So what I kind of handle is pretty much anything sales related, building our website, working with our marketing team to make sure all of our messaging is on point. We're running new ads, working also with the email marketing team to make sure that our revenue is growing on a daily basis there. And then I'm joined with my co-founders, Greg Mead, who is my brother and the CEO of the company.
Okay.
And our childhood friend, Mike Del Papa, who is an engineer and also the chief CEO of the company.
Incredible. Okay, so prior to us going live, I sort of painted a picture as to how I know you guys. So I think I heard another podcast, or I read an article featuring you talking about the astronomical. You might have been in a case study I read.
Yeah.
Talking about the astronomical growth of Crossnet. And then I went on a holiday in Greece last summer, and guess what they were playing? They were playing Crossnet, and I was like, okay, wow, this is incredible. Just connecting the dots. But you guys, your growth has been predominantly in the United States.
Correct.
You started in 2017, is that correct?
Yeah, we founded the company in 2017. Kind of worked out the kinks of going through prototype. So anyone listening, eventually what it is it's a 4-way volleyball net that is quickly adjustable for height. So men's, women's, and children in just a second. And there's 2 use cases for it. One is the way we play. It's a brand new sport. It combines Foursquare, which is a childhood game, with volleyball. Games are played to 11, and you win by 2. So the person serves the ball across. From there, it's a free-for-all. If you stay alive when you serve, you get 1 point. And all the players keep their points. So as the game goes on, things get super competitive. You have 9-8, 9-8, and people are just trying to eliminate whoever has the highest points.
It's amazing garden sport.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
Cool.
Incredible. So let's talk about your background and the ideation stage of Crossnet, and then we'll move straight into the marketing, into how you guys have delivered such growth.
Cool.
Okay, so who came up with the idea, and what were you guys doing prior to 2017?
Yeah, so I was working at Uber at the headquarters in New York City. I was working as an account executive selling to restaurants in New York and Boston and Rhode Island. So getting good sales experience in a tech company. And then Mike had graduated school, came over one night on a spring break. He said, hey guys, let's get together and let's think of an idea. I'm not ready to jump into this 9-to-5 life yet.
Incredible.
So we just had a list of ideas on a piece of paper, and we were just jotting ideas down all night. And midnight it started, and by 5 a.m. we had 4-way volleyball on a piece of paper.
You don't make this up. It's incredible. So this is, you guys, how do you prep yourselves up? Are you guys all geniuses there, or do you think this was a stroke of luck? How many ideas came through prior to eventually all agreeing on 4-way volleyball?
Honestly, that was it. We saw that and we Googled it, and we were watching ESPN on the background. We all grew up playing sports, and ESPN was on, and we're like, why is nobody doing this? And we Googled it, and nobody still was doing it on Google. And then we couldn't find anything, and we're like, let's do it.
Okay, so lots of ideas are thoughts of from at the pub or while drinking, but
Yeah,
not many of them actually survive the ideas. So
100%.
how did you guys take responsibility, take ownership of moving that idea through? Was it Mike or what was it,
Yeah, well,
concerted
luckily we
efforts or
were
just
all
one of you?
home. We were all able to have some time. I forget the reason why. It might have been a vacation or like a Memorial Day weekend or something like that where we had some time off. And first thing we did, we woke up and we went straight to Walmart and we bought 2 volleyball nets, pretty low cost, and rigged them together to make our prototype. We then invited our friends over to the house. We made up some rules on the spot that we still like tweak to these days. And then essentially we started playing. And when the game was done, everyone asked to play again. And I wanted to play again, and everyone else wanted to play again. So we're like, well, we're on to something. It's not like we're even trying. We're just literally having fun in the backyard. And we happen to invent something. And then we're like, all right, time to manufacture this thing. Like we're on to something. Here's our proof of concept.
Incredible. Okay, so did you stitch for prototype 1? How did you do it? Because obviously they go horizontal, that
Yeah.
way. So did you have to cut one
If
and
I
then
can
try
remember,
and
I
tie
wish
it
we had a
together? Or?
picture. Yeah, I wish we had a picture. I believe what happened, and Mike would be definitely the guy to ask. I think we cut out the center of one net and then like shoved the pole through the middle of the net. And so there's just like some gap in the center, but it just gave us the intersection. I don't think we stitched it, but we rigged it up pretty good. It was like standing on one side of my garage and one side of my garden. And like, that's how we made the balance work. It was fun.
Oh, well, that was version 1. And then so after the play, you guys were convinced that there was a hook with the product. What did you do next? Where did you go for further help?
Yeah, we found a manufacturer on Alibaba, looked up in the sporting goods industry, found somebody who specialized in creating sporting good nets. So we reached out, sent over our idea, really locked down one person we felt like we could trust, build a relationship with. And that's still the factory we work with today.
Incredible.
So, yeah, so they sent over a prototype. It was functional. It was fine, but we found a lot of improvements that we wanted to implement. So it took about 4 or 5 rounds of revisions before it was really perfect. And that's where we started really selling in 2018.
Interesting. Okay, so let's go to 2018. What kind of numbers how did you find traction? What were the early days like, and what was revenue like in 2018? And where were you? Did you quit your job in 2018, or were you moonlighting?
So what happened in 2018? I was still working in New York. I left. I told my job in June. For some reason, just around June, my lease was up in New York City, and my friends' lease were up as well, and they were ready to move. And we all looked at each other and we said, "Hey, let's just do this full time. Let's figure it out. If not, we all have good resumes. We all went to college. We all have strong backgrounds. We get another job in a second." So I told my boss at Uber, I said, "Hey, I'm moving to Miami in June. If you want me to work remotely for the next 6 months while I'm in Miami, happy to. I'll go look at the beach while I'm working, fine." And for whatever reason, they let me work remotely for the next 6 months.
Okay.
So 2018, I had a full-time job, but obviously my interest was pretty much elsewhere. And then January 1st, 2019 was my first full-time day as Crossnet employee. I quit the job that day. But going back to your question, 2018, I just pulled up the Shopify analytics. We did $74,000 in revenue of all of 2018.
How many founders?
How many founders?
Yeah.
Just the 3 of us.
Just the 3 of you. So you had 3 people, 74K, not much.
No, not much at all. And we had, at that point, had not taken a dollar
from the business. So you were saving, you're pretty much just living in savings.
We just kept doubling down. So yeah.
Where did you get your first 100 customers from?
Where did we get them? So we did kind of like a friends and family round, which did terrible, awful, just so bad. You have, when you're building an idea, people are like, "Oh, I'll support you." And then you have the $150 price point and they're like, "Oh, maybe not."
Okay. So AOV is at 150 for the set.
Yeah.
For
So
the
product
for the
150.
kits.
And then we played around with shipping a lot. So now we have shipping UPS ground based on where you live. So average AOV probably about $165 is where we're kind of at.
Okay.
So the first 100 customers was really us just going to the beach and playing it. We'd set up the game.
Okay.
And 30, 40 people would come up to us throughout the day asking to come play, stare at us like, what is this game? And then eventually customers would buy either on the spot, or we'd go home and see customers buy. I remember these girls from New York, they bought it in a random town in New York I'd never heard of. And then they'd post on Instagram every day that they're playing. And then people started buying from their town. And just
organic.
like,
Just,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. So then that kind of got the dots in, like, the more nets we get into the world, the more free marketing that they're going to be doing that I was doing at the beach for me. And the sales will just start trickling in like a spider web.
Yeah, this very exponential because the product in itself is, it's contagious, in terms of its appeal. So one person was pretty much getting you 2, 3, 4, 5 customers
Exactly.
because people were seeing them, and there are already 4 people playing that game.
Yeah.
So another one of those 4 people, other 3 people may, want to buy it because,
like a
they're
pyramid.
in a friend's house. Yeah, it's a pyramid. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Amazing. Okay. So, when did you start to see, so you saw those trends in 2018, you didn't see that much money, but you realized, okay, we're onto something here.
Exactly.
So it's come 2019. What was the strategy? What was revenue? And what was the strategy from the 75 or so K to where you got to in 2019?
Yeah, so we went from 75 grand in 2018 to 2.25 million in 2019.
Incredible.
So quite a nice jump.
What was the strategy?
The strategy there was just getting more and more content and getting smarter about our ads. Before, we would just have one high quality, we paid like a videographer friend to make a really nice company video, and we'd run the ad on everybody back in the day. And it didn't really work because some people didn't have the 30 seconds or the 1 minute to watch our Crossnet overview video. We found that customers relate more to organic user-generated content. So somebody putting up the 8-second clip of them playing it in their backyard or on the beach, or look at this cool game I just saw at the beach, I'm in Daytona. Those videos resonate way more than our high-quality video that we pay a trained videographer to do. Because those videos are great when I'm at a seminar or need something at a trade show booth. But the 8-second iPhone clip of 6 kids, like kids diving and having fun, always plays off way more real.
Yeah, it's emotional.
Yeah, exactly. So we started getting UGC from different types of customers and then running it towards.
How did you get UGC? Were they incentivized, or was there something strong? Did you just look for the content and then ask them, or?
Yeah, we would always look for the content. We would always post on our stores like, hey, if you got a Crossnet delivered today, please send us a tag. And we would get some content. But eventually what we started doing was we would incentivize, say, hey, Amazon gift card. We're taking, like currently right now, we're taking submissions till Wednesday night at 7 p.m. We've gotten dozens and dozens of videos that we'll be able to use for the next few months to monetize on Facebook. But essentially, hey, submit your best video of you playing. You probably have it on your phone already. Enter to win a $50 Amazon gift card. Something as small as that will give us content for months, which is great.
Amazing. So user generated. So how long did you run the videographer type, professional, company real thing?
Yeah. We ran that for about, I want to say 12 months, and we had different variations of it, but it was all like super high quality studio versions. Then we started getting the UGC when summer came.
12 months in 2018 or 12 months in 2019?
Yeah, like the middle of 2018.
Okay.
Right before the summer of 2019. And in summer 2019, it just started to really pick up.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, organic. So were you now plugging that into your Facebook ads, campaign?
Correct. Yeah. So we were doing that on Facebook ads. We'd also be doing that through email marketing, sending anybody that we captured on our site. They'd get this nice email saying, hey, look what you missed at the beach this week. This could have been you. So stuff like that.
Okay, so how much? So how much? What was your spend? Your Facebook ad spend in 2019?
It depends on the season, since we are a seasonal product, and also we ramp up for the holidays. But on our slow months, we could spend anywhere from $200 to $500 a day, and then on the summer months, we could be all the way up to $2,500 to $5,000, just
Okay.
depending on how good the ads are going. If we
Okay.
have the inventory and our CPAs where we want it to be, we're good to keep ramping.
Did you manage it, or did you get someone else to do it for you?
I've never managed a day in my life. So I have a Facebook expert that I've been working with for a long time. Now we work with an agency to run those things. So
Who was the Facebook expert you worked with?
it was just a kid I went to college with, actually high school with. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And
Yeah,
then
he was an intern to start. We gave him college credit. He graduated, and then we paid him.
Yeah, fantastic. What about the agency you're working with now?
Yeah, they're good. They're called the Snow Agency. So they
Snow
specialize in Facebook ads.
Okay.
Yeah, good results.
Incredible. Okay, so 2019, you started to you pivoted to using user generated content, and you also talked about the fact that you serve various demographic of users, various kinds of content.
Correct.
Could you explain the kind of content and the demographics, how you match it, how you figure out how to match it?
Yeah, so it kind of broke down to, we found that the target buyer actually ended up being moms and dads buying for their children. When we invented the game, we figured it would be people like myself, 27, maybe 22 in college, 19, looking to have that fun. Granted, there are tons of buyers for the game at that demo, but on a daily basis, the people reacting to the Facebook ads are the moms. So we've built more content geared towards them so they could envision what they're going to see when they have their daughter set up the game in the backyard on a Sunday afternoon. It's not the Olympians spiking it. It's the 12-year-olds playing, and with the lower version of the net showing its height adjustability, and they're just plopping it over learning volleyball skills, because that's actually what's happening in the backyard.
Yeah.
So we've kind of accepted that, and we started getting content for those different demographics. If I'm on, I'm gonna be served the video of the Olympians playing. So the Latvian Olympic volleyball team we have video from, and they're spiking it, they're diving, they're going crazy. Like, that interests me more than the 12-year-old barely touching the ball.
True.
So that's where we started getting really smart about it, and that was honestly right around winter time of last year where we kind of put those pieces together.
And in 2020, you guys have blown out. You're doing 40K days.
Yeah, 2020, we're almost already at $1 million. Probably will end the year, give or take 8 to 10 mil. Honestly, it changes every day, but I would be pretty sad if we didn't hit that. We just started nationwide with Academy Sports, which is 256 locations. We're nationwide with Shield Sporting Goods, and we also go live with Dick's Sporting Goods in a few weeks. So,
okay, so how has retail distribution changed the business?
it's frustrating. It's so frustrating because the money's great, but they just order so unpredictable sometimes. So
become a supply chain business rather than a marketing business.
Exactly. And then it's weighing who's more important, the e-commerce customer or the wholesale customer. And it's like, it's tough. Like, we just got an order the other day from a wholesaler out of the blue for 500 units. And it's like, that's 500 customers who may be back ordered now. So
what's the timeline for the delivery? Immediately or?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, we were always open to negotiate, and I'm pretty candid about our business. Like, hey, we're figuring out. Nobody expected us to be at 8 mil or even 2 mil last year. So they understand, and they're seeing the growth with us. The buyers are like, Chris, the product was sitting on the shelf for 2 months. Nobody touched it. And now we sold 48 at one location in 3 weeks. Like, what's going on? So,
okay. And do you see brand awareness also, given the fact that you have, space, you have aisle space in huge sporting goods, stores, that in itself is of stimulating brand name search for Crossnet.
100%. And we're actually seeing that they're having displays like on the end of the aisle just for Crossnet, where they have video feeds going, and like, they're really pumping. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah.
So I was going to ask you this question at the end of the podcast, but I think now would be a great time. What do you envision the future of Crossnet to be? And that's about, I mean, like running tournaments, actually owning an amateur sport and hopefully a professional sport. So
yeah.
Doing it in the pipeline.
Yeah, 1,000%. So it's kind of touching it in the beginning. So there's two use cases for how our game's played. One is it's the way we invented it, the rules, game to 11, win by 2. But on the other hand, we're seeing gym classes using it to learn how to play volleyball. So they're not using our rules. We're in over 4,000 schools right now where gym classes are learning volleyball, going to class, pumped up that their gym teacher's cool and bought it off Facebook. And now they're going home and running to tell their parents that they have the new Crossnet and that they need it. But what I'm getting at is that we're becoming a staple on how to learn volleyball in America. And I think that's a huge other market on top of growing this tournament and Olympic side of the business. So I want to be
a fun way of learning how to play volleyball, by the way.
Exactly. Great way. I hated volleyball growing up. I touched the ball twice in an hour class. There'd be 6-on-6, 10-on-10. I'd never get the ball. So now kids are getting it spiked every second. So one avenue of the business, physical education, my goal, every classroom, everywhere, eventually, one day.
Amazing. Great vision.
On the second end is growing the sport, having tournaments, making it more competitive. We're dropping a longer net so we could have team battles instead of just one-on-one competition. So we're really going to try to grow the sport there. And then we had tournaments all scheduled across the country, and everything's happening in the world kind of canceled it. But we'll get back to it when everything's a little bit better.
Yeah. Right from when I spoke with you prior to this call, I sensed a feeling of optimism, as in like, you know, and the optimism was just based on what you've experienced, you know, over the years with Crossnet, and you know, it just seems like you guys are going to hit your targets essentially, right? Yeah. Okay. So at the end of 2020, what do you think the breakdown will be from of revenue from sources? So online versus, you know, distribution or retail?
Yeah, I think if I really break it down, I'd want to say that it'd close to be 70% crossnetgame.com revenue and about 30% retail. And
What's
I say
the split now?
Just because our website is so strong, we're getting so many page visitors. And my goal always is we're going to make more money on our .com as long as our ad spend is appropriate than we will with wholesale. But we certainly do have good margins on wholesale. So
you're a direct to consumer business, really, or brand, essentially.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, this is the parts I really want to talk about, like Facebook advertising. So, you know, you manage, you know, how your results are terrific, but it's also down to how you manage your relationships with, you know, prior your Facebook guy and now the agency. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about CPA. What kind of CPA? What's their remit? Where do you focus? Where do you focus the efforts on a CPA, on ROAS, or you know, on CPA or ROAS? What's your North Star?
1,000,000% on CPA, almost never on ROAS. If I see the ROAS is good, I know I'm doing well, but it's always how much I'm making as a business owner. And the way I always calculate that is, here's my production cost, here's my shipping cost, here's my labor cost. This is the money I have to play with to kind of get to that sale. If it's in an appropriate amount that I'm happy with selling the Crossnet for, then my business is all good.
What's that number?
It could be anywhere from $20 to $30. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good as a business owner right now. If we could get that sale within $20 to $30, my product's $150. I know my product cost. That leaves food on the table for the three of us.
That's a fifth, yeah. Okay, so going back in 2018, what was CPA? 2019, what was CPA, and what does CPA look like in 2020?
2018, probably like $100.
Whoa!
Terrible. Yeah, we were giving away product for free. 2019, depending on the season, we started to get. I mean, we did great in 2019. $2.5 million. Like I never expected to even be there. So with that, I remember our projections for 2019. I said $400,000. So
more than blows out
that. Yeah, so I think 2019, depending on the season, probably be give or take $50 to $70. So summer would be a little bit easier, holiday a little bit more competitive, but 50 to 70. We were still making cash, and at the volume that we were doing, we are 100% profitable, paying each other out pretty good. But now we're getting it lower and lower, which is an amazing feeling.
What does it look like now in 2020? In
Right now we're sitting at like $30.
incredible,
Yeah.
incredible, incredible, incredible. And where would you sort of attribute the success to? Obviously, everything's kind of compounds over time.
Yeah.
But when you look at Facebook, you have the targeting, which you guys are doing terrifically well. You
Yep.
know your segment, and then you have your creatives, which you alluded to, which is more user generated content. So where do you think the biggest lever points has led to you pretty much halving your CPA?
Yeah, I think it's been one, getting stronger and stronger creative. In the beginning, we really were so dry on content. We'd have one or two videos, and now I'm getting videos on my phone. When we hang up, I'll probably have a new video submitted that we could go monetize. So we're always testing for newer, better videos and better CPAs on the video side. But also, as our brand's getting stronger, the comment section and the trust is really starting to develop. We're no longer, oh, that volleyball net on Facebook that I may or may not get if I put my credit card in. Or, oh, Susie from Arkansas says, hey, I set this up in my backyard and my kids played it for 7 hours. We love it. You go to our site, we have Walmart, Target, Wilson, all the biggest brands in the world. We're legit now. We're not just some Facebook brand. We're a real brand. And that's crazy because we're just still kids like having fun, and we don't feel like we're that big brand, you know. It's a wild feeling, but we have that branding now, and it's crazy. So the results are really starting to kind of come in.
So if I heard you right, the major level of points has been on brand.
Yeah.
Brand awareness, just that brand pull, and the fact that they have various memory points, so they have brand recall, so they
exactly.
go to Walmart,
just like you when you went to the beach. Yeah,
exactly. When I went to Greece, of all places, I saw a Crossnet exactly. So when yeah, makes sense, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, interesting, super interesting. Okay, so what do you think CPA is going to go further down over time?
I think right now we're kind of in this situation, unfortunate situation, but everybody's glued to their phones and their tablets and their computers, and there's nothing else to do but look for better days. So our messaging has changed from, granted, we're always going to be, hey, buy now with this discount, but it's more like, get pumped. Hopefully in a month, things are going to be better and you can go outside and play. So it's gone from a buy to a look forward to better days to come, and imagine how much fun it's going to be in your backyard playing Crossnet or at the beach.
Yeah, the empathy is most important now in marketing. And on my Facebook group, I shared a brand that actually puts a COVID-19 sale, as in, I was just like, how low can you
the $19 off?
No, they said we're giving 10% to hospitals in your area. So, but that was not very, it's not very nice. No. Okay, so back to Crossnet. What other channels besides Facebook have you experimented, over the course of the growth, trajectory?
So our biggest thing is capturing emails. I've been a very strong proponent of this since we started the business. If I could cap 10% of the customers onto our site, and I know we have 5,000 or 6,000 a day sometimes, that email list is building very rapidly. We're probably at 80 to 100K last time I checked. And I haven't even checked this month how big it is. But essentially, it just keeps growing over time. And if we're investing the resources, which we now are, with a professional email marketing team to build high quality content, we're going to see our email revenue grow. So we grew in the last 4 months from less than like 2%. And now we're getting up to like 15% of our revenues done through email, which is great.
Incredible. Yeah. So what's your email capture strategy?
So right now we have two different levers that we pull. One, when you get to the site, within a few seconds, we don't want it to be too spammy. But when you're on the site for about 7 seconds, you'll get a pop-up that says, hey, you like free money? We love free money. Just kind of something on brand with us. Here's $10 off. Okay. And then we have that iconic spinner wheel.
Okay.
Hate it or love it, but it gives us the results. And you close the page, you get that spinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So Crossnet, win a free Crossnet, feeling lucky, spin the wheel for a chance.
Exactly.
So what kind of conversion rates are you looking?
Right
Do you
now, we're
have
looking at
email
like
conversion rates?
we're looking at like on that spin to win thing. We're capping like 15%. 15% of the time,
15
yeah, we're getting an email.
on first time customer segments or
Yeah.
okay.
So
And then do you do anything? Okay, all right, makes sense. And then where
once we
does
get
this
your
pipe
email,
into?
yeah. So this all pipes into Klaviyo,
Oh,
and then
Klaviyo, yeah,
yeah.
they
So
sponsor
from
us.
yeah, it's great. So
Brilliant
from
company.
there, anybody who orders, so there's different segments we have. If we get your email, you get funneled into a welcome series. The
Mhm.
welcome series isn't just one email; it's a series of like 7 or 8 emails
Mhm.
that are basically like, here's what you need to know about Crossnet. Like, here's what you're missing out on. Here's the best video we've seen this month. So we're really trying to drive that customer home. And then if you do order, you go down a different segment of here's how you unbox the game. Here's how you set up. Here's the rules. Like, here's what you need to know.
So
Here's a little
guidebook broken down into
exactly.
okay.
And as we mature, we'll get better at that. I'd like to see a segment for gym teachers. It's hard to really navigate that, but because sometimes gym teachers will just plug in their address and it looks like a normal customer. But it would be great to put them in a bucket of here's curriculum. Here's how the gym teacher over in New York is using the game. So
Yeah.
really want to get smarter on that in 2020.
You're gonna have
Realistic.
to ask them to identify themselves at some point. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then just follow them through.
Yep.
This is incredible, and what about other acquisition channels? Have you tried Google, YouTube
Oh
ads,
yeah.
retargeting, with
Yeah.
ad roll and all that? So
Exactly. Yeah. So we're doing YouTube pre-roll ads, which is going well. I think for those, it would be nicer to have actually, we'll probably split test it and see if the user generated content between or versus a high quality like studio video, what would perform better. So
okay.
we're doing YouTube ads. We're definitely doing tons of Google ads, Google Shopping, Google AdWords. And then also what else we're doing? We're doing Pinterest. We're doing tons on Twitter. So
Is YouTube working?
yeah, I really can't tell you if the YouTube's working. It's not working enough where I can look at you in the face and say, hey, we're doing great things on YouTube, because that's a lot.
Okay.
But we're trying.
So what's the split in terms of spend? Does Facebook get like 80% of spend versus all
Yeah.
the other? Okay.
Yeah, Facebook's at 80%. I'd say Google's like 20, and then actually probably 19, and the rest is like 1%. So
Incredible. Okay. I think so. Should we do a fire? I think we should do a fire. We should do a lightning round. Yeah.
all right, cool.
I think so. Yeah. Okay. Let me put up the questions, and we'll just get right into it. How do you hire people?
I identify for weaknesses. So I look at myself and I know what I suck at. I know what I'm good at. And then I try to find somebody who kind of fits the bucket of what I need and what my budget is for that job. So if it's customer service, a little bit less than a senior coder who has 20 years of experience who could really build my website a little bit better. And then, yeah.
Okay. What are your 3 indispensable tools for managing Crossnet?
Tools, FaceTime. We use FaceTime ridiculously amounts. Skype. I talk to all my freelancers on Skype. And then Google Drive. Everything lives in the Drive.
Awesome. Okay. Question for me. What's been your best mistake to date? I mean, a setback that's giving you the biggest feedback.
So we started shipping a lot of product to influencers in the beginning. And with the 20-pound product and the product cost we have, it really ran us dry pretty quickly. We ran out of a lot of cash, and we were just sitting there spamming them. Hey, can you set up the net? Can you set up the net? And they're like, it's December 12th. It's snow on the ground. We're not setting up the net. And eventually we lost just a lot of money. And now we realize influencer marketing isn't really for us. Let's just get the organic customers.
Exactly.
So live and learn.
You do. If you were to look at yourself 5 years ago, what advice would you give your 5 years ago self?
Stay patient. I'm a patient guy as it is, but be a little bit more patient. Things will all work out, and life changes really quickly. So be prepared for it.
Are you a morning person?
No, I'm trying to be good at it. This is my first thing of the day, but I like to go to bed at 2, 3. I like watching my Netflix. So,
okay. What 2 things can't you live without?
Lately, being inside, apparently I can't live without the gym. I really miss just working out. Every day I go for at least an hour or so. And then my laptop. I'd be broke without my laptop.
Okay, well, finally, what book are you reading?
Right now, just downloaded it 10 seconds ago. I got you. Oh, well, Bob Pfeiffer, Double Your Profits is my all-time favorite book. I'll give you that. And now I'm reading A Random Walk Down Wall Street.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
3 pages in.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you. It's been incredible having you, Chris. You're a fun guy, selling a fun product, fun brand, actually. It's you just met all my expectations. You didn't disappoint at all.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so for guys who want to connect with Crossnet first, so go to crossnetgame.com. Fantastic fun site. I can see loads of people. There are lots of demos of the product. For people who want to connect with you, are you active on any social media channels, or should they just stick to Crossnet?
No, I mean, you can stick there, but if you want to message me, go to you can find me on LinkedIn, Chris Mead, up pretty quickly, and then Chris@crossnetgame.com if you have any questions. Happy to help.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Chris, for turning up.
Yeah, man, no worries. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers.